We begin this morning with a Fox News alert. Right now, a manhunt underway for the assassin who shot and killed conservative political icon Charlie Kirk during a campus event in Utah.
The 31-year-old co-founder of Turning Point USA was struck by a single bullet roughly 20 minutes after taking the stage for his American comeback tour.
People around the world are mourning the loss of one of the driving forces behind the modern conservative movement, many praising him for creating Turning Point and the impact it has had on the American political landscape.
When did you form Turning Point?
In June of 2012.
And why did you call it Turning Point?
You know, at the time, I felt as if we were kind of in a generational turning point. I said, hey, I think we could do a better job of reaching young people.
Yeah.
And now we contrast what we've been able to do, largely thanks to the movement that President Donald Trump has built. We've kind of been riding that energy and that momentum with where the Democrats are now currently. I mean, the tables have completely flipped over the last decade. And it goes to show that this patriotic revival is being led by the youngest Americans. That should give everyone a lot of hope.
We are going to be talking to young conservatives across the country this morning who are reflecting on Kirk's legacy. To countless young people, he was the voice of their generation, pointing to his iconic campus visits where he would open the floor to debate on top political issues. You are watching Fox and Friends First. On this Thursday morning, I'm Carly Shimkus.
And I am Todd Pyro. Let's get straight to Matt Finn, live from Orne, Utah, with the latest on the man. Matt.
Todd, it is calm and quiet here on campus of the Utah Valley University right now. Just a stark contrast to the horror that ripped across this campus not long ago. And if I step off camera right now and we push in, you could see a terribly grim scene. You might be able to make out the outline of that white tent that Charlie Kirk was inside of when he was fatally shot on this campus. I believe it might have been a part of his Prove Me Wrong table. This was all a part of Kirk's American comeback tour. He had planned to attend several other universities and college campuses around the country in the coming weeks and months. Right now, the shooter still at large. 2 suspects were taken into custody, but both were released. The FBI set up a tip line. Authorities say the shooter appeared to be in all black and on a roof. Here is dispatch audio describing the suspect.
Going to be wearing all black, black long gun, black tactical helmet, a black mask, possibly wearing a tactical vest and jeans.
The Utah Valley University Chief of Police says 6 police officers were working this event in addition to Charlie's personal security team. 3,000 people packed onto this campus to listen to and engage with Charlie Kirk. Utah Governor Spencer Cox calls the shooting a political assassination.
But I want to make it crystal clear right now to whoever did this, we will find you. We will try you, and we will hold you accountable to the furthest extent of the law. And I just want to remind people that we still have the death penalty here in the state of Utah.
So the governor reminding people about capital punishment here in Utah. A manhunt is presumably underway right now, but here on campus it is very calm. Not even a large police presence here right now, and pretty much anybody in the public could walk onto this property if they wanted to. We've been talking to sources, getting updates from law enforcement, and we will keep you updated hour by hour. Carly, Todd.
And Matt, you just mentioned what you're seeing right now in terms of a police presence, but as you were driving into town earlier this morning, late evening, did you notice police en masse in the area? In other words, were they going door to door on campus, potentially looking for this individual, or was it as quiet as it is right now?
You know, I did not see a huge police presence driving into the campus or even on the campus. They were really just kind of blocking some traffic earlier, but now it's remarkably calm. I mean, if you were to walk here right now, you may not even realize what happened here yesterday. But Fox did learn that police were going door to door in nearby neighborhoods, asking people if they saw anyone that they did not recognize, but no major update there. A source that I talked to, a federal source, said that, of course, there are things happening behind the scenes right now, but we just don't have any major updates, and we have to wait and see what law enforcement brings us.
Well, we lost a generational talent yesterday, and you were standing on a campus in mourning. Matt Finn, live for us. Matt, thank you.
Yeah.
Let's bring in former homicide detective Brian Foley. Brian, thank you for joining us this morning. There is nobody in custody right now. You heard the description of the assassin wearing dark clothing fired from a campus, a roof on campus. Who could have done something like this, given the nature of this assassination?
Well, as a homicide detective, let me speak as a homicide detective, I don't like it. You look at that description, black mask, black helmet, all blacked out, possibly a tack vest. You have a long gun getting into campus, a long gun getting out of campus. No gun recovered at this point. What that tells me is this was well planned, well executed, and my answer to you is I don't know, and what they're dealing with right now is a whodunit. But because you don't see all those law enforcement resources, as the reporter just said, that doesn't mean everything is going on. This is all hands on deck. It reminds me of the Boston Marathon bombing and all the resources that are going to be coming in, state, local, federal. Look at the university. The university is going to be able to help the law enforcement only in regards to recovering a video, opening doors, and getting into places to look to recover the gun. You don't have a shell casing. You don't have anything. This was well planned. That single shot, one gunshot, you look at what happened to President Trump with multiple shots and such, that single shot here is alarming, that it was well planned at range, 200 yards. I'm sure with a high-powered rifle, clearly a high-powered rifle to a trained eye with unfortunately what we saw. For someone to get something like that in and out of a university campus where guns aren't forbidden. So this is a real whodunit for the detectives.
Walk us through exactly what the FBI is doing right now. 4:06 a.m. East Coast time, the day after the shooting.
Perfect. This is a perfect scenario for the FBI to handle because this will likely span a large area. This is 40 miles south of Salt Lake. What they're doing, the main thing I would say is culling resources, putting together teams to go over those resources, going over video evidence. Think about now in the aftermath of the Boston bomb, again, that's why it sounds so familiar. They're going over so much video evidence, and that was a decade or more ago that happened. So there's so much more video evidence today. They're going around door to door. You heard them say in the neighborhoods, they're looking for ring cameras. They're looking for security cameras. But also, universities have license plate readers. There's traffic cameras in the area. The highways have traffic cameras. If you think of remember the Idaho murder where he moves across country, they're tracking those movements. What they're really doing now, though, Todd, is not looking what happened after the shooting and the getaway. They're looking prior to getting up to that building where the shots were coming from. I'm sure they've identified from trajectory, it's not going to be too difficult, the general area from where that came from. They're going to be able to look. Everyone always thinks what happened after the crime. They're looking what happened at the footprints prior to getting up there. But again, it makes me nervous that this is going to be a well-planned and well-executed, unfortunately, homicide.
Reading through some of the eyewitness accounts, Brian, from people who were there, one attendee said that he had a gun, he left it in his car because he assumed that there would be metal detectors there. And then when he got to the event, he was surprised by the lack of security. And then we have law enforcement yesterday at the press conferences saying that there were 6 officers assigned to this event, along with Charlie Kirk's personal security. What do you make of that? It was an event of 3,000 people.
Here we go. Now we're going to look at what the university had for a budget to plan for safety. How much were they going to spend on officers at this type of event? How much did they put into security? I can tell you this, it's going to change. It always happens after these events is everyone's going to start now really over planning. It's confounding to me. You know, we planned for a Trump visit in Hartford years and years ago. We covered everything. I mean, every window, everything. The complacency that goes into event planning, into looking into these things is astounding and incredibly unfortunate here this morning that we have to deal with it. But I like that the chief was forthcoming and that they only had 6 officers and that they could have had more. This is a learning lesson for all those campuses across the United States. Now, when they have these types of events, maybe you move them indoors. It's much easier to control in an indoor event, but I'm sure that Charlie probably wanted it outdoors. He liked that type of scenario and that type of feel. It creates more security challenges, but you can certainly plan an event where you pivot or turn things so you can cover everything.
Do you think the FBI knows who the shooter is at this point?
Good question. I think they have some leads. They're not going to say anything. Right. They're not going to tell us, you know, and you saw some communication where they had a suspect, they didn't have a suspect. It gets confusing. I can tell you this, the homicide detectives, the FBI agents, the state homicide detectives, they don't want to tell anyone anything. other than public, please help us. You don't want anyone knowing anything because that secrecy is only to your benefit in chasing down a killer. So there is that conflict between command staff or directors and the field investigators of sharing information, but you want to be very controlling of what you put out to the public.
Yeah, we do know that 2 people were taken into custody and then released, but law enforcement on every single level is going to be working tirelessly to find this shooter. Former homicide detective Brian Foley, thank you for joining us for your expertise. We appreciate it.